Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So in this presentation, we would like to explain our essay writing project, which the topic is the construct essay structure. But before we're going to our presentation or our discussion, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Rido Suryo Prasojo, and my friend.
I am Nurul Fitriah.
Okay, so we're from Group 6, Class 2F. Okay, we're going to the first part of our project, and it will be explained by my partner, Nurul Fitria.
Okay, for the book title is Bahasa Inggris, and the grade is a first grade of high school, and the genre is fiction or fairy tale and comedy. And the page is 137. And for the first introductory paragraph, hook. So I'm picking up my trouble in an old kid bag in the woods. When I hear a twig snap, the hook in this essay is quite interesting because the sound of the twig snap might make the readers wonder what's happening and who is making that sound. And for the background info, I turned to see a little red hoodie tent with a picnic basket that said "Mommy's a little girl," along with a picture of the girl yawning. There is only one sentence. The information provides a little girl with the red hoodie, a picnic basket that said "Mommy's little girl," along with a picture of the girl yawning. And for the thesis statement, hi little hood, I like that basket. I roll my eyes. This is not a strong thesis statement because it cannot be discussed or explained since the verb said the science since the verb say I in the context that his opinion and we cannot argue about it. Okay. And for main body paragraph, 9.1, the wolf like the basket that little Riding Hood carried. This the main idea it is connected because the wolf said that he want to see what was in the picnic basket. And for the supporting point, but the supporting point it is unconnected with the main idea because that is only focused on the wolf made scary little girl. And for the detail, we have three detail from from the first paragraph. The first is instead I pull out and I will eat you coupon used for the 3,000 Hamang's paid restaurant, which unable to get an all you can eat dinner. And the second, she screamed an ear piercing scream that made me roar and fall the ground and curl up. And the last one, it is an armadillo wolf and it's going to like to totally attack me. She's cried and run into the woods. And for the supporting point two, in this paragraph, I swallow an old lady to make friend with somebody because I want to know what's in the basket just for the cookies, let's say. And for the second supporting point, it is connected because in this paragraph, the focus on is to explaining that the wolf who want to know what was in the picnic basket and follow the little girl with until he found out the content of the basket were only cookies. And for the detail, there is just one detail. It is as she ran away, I saw the label on her basket. Um, and yeah, the wolf want to follow the little red hoodie. And for the concluding paragraph, there is not what is it there is not a strong concluding paragraph because there is not a summary from the main ideas and there is not the thesis restatement or the thesis from the thesis statement and there is not a prediction from the prediction in future and suggestion that is we get.
Okay, so
It
that's all from the first part. Now we're going to look at the second part of the project. So in this task two, we have to evaluate the unit and coherence of the science essay with the following criteria and templates. So we have to decide what kind of cohesive devices that is used in those sentences and are those sentences connected or unconnected? And for the introductory paragraph, it will be explained by Nurul Fitria.
Okay, for the sentence 1 and 2, the remark is connected and cohesive devices is use repetition. In the first sentence, there is a word or subject. It is I that is used as a speaker, that wolf in the context. Since that story itself use a first person point of view. Meanwhile, in the second sentence, we can see that I is show again to function the same way as before, connecting the two sentences by using repetition. And for the sentence 2 and 3, it is the remark is connected and cohesive devices is use repetition. The same the same subject I is used again in the body of the sentence. Beside that, little red hoodie it mentioned in the second sentence. Meanwhile, in the next sentence, it is mentioned one more, but is a simpler way to calling that is little hoodie. And for the sentence 3 and 4 is connected and use cohesive devices use pronoun. I in the fourth sentence refers to Lil Hood in the three sentence. And for sentence 4 and 5, there is an unconnected remark is unconnected. And for the mind body paragraph, sentence 1 and 2, the remark is connected and use repetition. The word of subject C in the sentence is repeat, which refer to a little red reading hood contextually. And for the sentence 2 and 3, it is connected and use pronoun. The pronoun her in sentence 3 refer to the subject C in sentence 2. And for the sentence 3 and 4, it is connected and use repetition. The bolded word I refer to the same thing, which is the speaker, the wolf. And for the sentence 4 and 5, it is connected and use a pronoun and cohesive devices use pronouns. Pronoun me refers to the verb I in the sentence in the fourth sentence. And for sentence 5 and 6, it is connected and use pronoun I in the subject pronoun of me, which is mentioned in the sentence 6, referring to me. And for sentence 6 and 7, it is connected. It is used repetition and transition. I is mentioned repeatedly connecting the sentence. Instant is used to contradict the context of the intention of the subject I in the previous sentence. And for the sentence 7 and 8, it is connected and use pronoun. Subject me in the sentence 8 refers to I, positioning as an object pronoun. And for the sentence 8 and 9, it is connected and use repetition. The word see is the word see is repeated in the different sentence referring to the same subject. And for the sentence 9 and 10, it is unconnected. And sentence 10 and 11, it is connected and use pronoun. The subject they in the sentence 11 refers to a troop of 7 dwarf as an objective pronoun, hence connecting the sentence. And for the sentence 11 and 12, it is unconnected. And for the sentence 12 and 13 is connected and use repetition. The word dwarf is used again in sentence 30 after it is mentioned in the sentence 12. And for the sentence 30 and 40, it is connected and use pronoun. His in the sentence 40 refer to the dwarf, which connected the sentence. And sentence 16 and 17, it is connected and use substitution. The subject I in the sentence 16 is replaced or substituted by the subject you within a direct space in sentence 17. And for the sentence 17 and 18, it is connected and use substitution. You in the sentence 17 revert to and is replaced by I in the sentence 18. Meanwhile, C in the sentence 17 is substituted by you in the sentence 18. And for the sentence 14 and 15 is connected and use repetition. The subject I is used in both sentence referring to the same subject. And for the sentence 15 and 16 is connected and use repetition. The subject I is used repeatedly referring to the same subject. And for the sentence 18 and 19, it is unconnected. And for the sentence 19 and 20, it is connected and use a repetition. The word see is used in both of the sentence to revert to the same subject. And for the sentence 20 and 21 is unconnected, and the sentence 21 and 22 is unconnected. And sentence 22 and 23 is unconnected, and sentence 23 and 24 is unconnected. And sentence 25 is connected with the sentence 26 by using as a conjunction. This show us a fact that there are multiple actions happening at the same time.
Okay, so we're going to look at the paragraph 2 of the main body. So the sentences 1 and 2, the remark is connected because there's a pronoun as the cohesive devices. It in the first sentence, it refers to the label in sentence 1. Okay, so we're going to look at the sentences 2 and 3. It is connected because there's a substitution. The address mentioned in sentence 2 is substituted by there in sentence 3, thus connecting the idea of both sentences by referring to the same place. And for the sentence 3 and 4, the remark is connected, and the cohesive devices that is used in these sentences are repetition, because the subject I in both sentences refers to the same figure, which is the wolf in this context. So sentences 4 and 5, it is connected. They are connected because there are two cohesive devices that are used in this context. There's pronoun and there's repetition. So the pronoun is the subject he in sentence 5 explains the position of Bob Wolf. Meanwhile, the repetition is the subject I in both sentences refers to the same figure, which is the wolf in this context. So it's the same with the previous one. And sentences 5 and 6, they are connected because there's the use of transitions, specifically contrast. Anyway, in sentence 6, contrasts the idea of I in the previous sentence, which was talking about his friend. Okay, so sentences 6 and 7, it's unconnected because there is no cohesive devices that is used. And for the sentences 7 and 8, it is unconnected as well because there's no cohesive device. And then sentences 8 and 9, they are connected because there is substitution. That in sentence 9 refers to the idea of the previous sentence, which is mentioned in a form of direct speech. Meanwhile, the sentences 9 and 10, the remark is unconnected because there's no cohesive device that is used in that context. And for the sentences 10 and 11, they are connected as well because there's a transition, comparison, and then there's repetition as well. So the sentences are connected by using transition, connecting the idea from the previous sentence. So there, the grandma is used repetitively, I mean. And then sentences 11 and 12, they're connected as well because there's substitution. The word grandma is replaced by the sweet little woman, hence both are referring to the same person and connecting the sentences. So, grandma and the little sweet woman in this context are the same person. And sentences 12 and 13, um, the sentences are connected because the cohesive device that is used is pronoun. Sweet little woman is replaced by the subjective pronoun she in the next sentence. Okay, so sentences 13 and 14, they are connected because there's at as a conjunction. And then sentences 14 and 15, they are connected as well because there's a pronoun. The subject she in sentence 15 replaces the position of littlehood. So we can see that bolded words in sentences 14 and 15 are referring to the same person or the same figure. And then sentences 15 and 16, they are connected as well because there's a use of repetition. The word cookies is repeated several times in both sentences. And sentences 16 and 17, they're connected as well because the cohesive device that is used is repetition. And it's the same thing with the previous sentences. The word cookies is repeated several times. Okay, so sentences 17 and 18, those sentences are connected because there's a pronoun that is used there. Um, so the subject I in sentence 17 is replaced by its possessive adjective forms, my, in sentence 18. So the bolded words are referring to the same person. Um, for the sentences 18 and 19, those sentences are connected because there are two cohesive devices that is used. The first one is pronoun and the second one is repetition. The word my is reverted into its subjective pronoun, which is I, and my is repeated and then connects the sentences. Okay, so for the sentences 24 and 25, they are connected because there's a use of repetition. The word I is repeated in both sentences, referring to the same subject. For the sentences 25, 26, and then sentences 20, 26, and 27, also sentences 27 and 28, they are all unconnected because there's no use of um, cohesive devices. Okay, so for the concluding paragraph, it will be continued by my friend Nurul Fitria.
Okay, for the sentence 1 and 2, it is corrected and use repetition. The word is repeated in both sentences, referring to the same subject. And for the sentence 2 and 3, it is connected and use substitution. The word you refers to the same figure as the girl in the sentences 3. And for the sentences 3 and 4, it is connected and use cohesive devices pronoun. The girl in the sentences 3 is replaced by a subjective pronoun which is she in sentence 4. And for the sentence 4 and 5, it is connected and use repetition. The word doctor is repeated in the both sentence. And for the sentence 5 and 6, it is unconnected. And also to sentence 6 and 7, unconnected, and 7 and 8 it is unconnected. And for the sentence 8 and 9, it is connected, and cohesive devices use a pronoun. The subject he in sentences 9 revert to the draw. Sentence 9 and 10, it is connected and use repetition. The word he is repeated in the both sentence. And sentences 10 and 11, it is connected, and cohesive devices use substitution. You and I revert to the same subject. And sentence 11 and 12, it is connected, and cohesive devices use substitution. I and your revert to the same subject. And sentences 12 and 13, it is connected, and use substitution. You and your revert to the same subject. Okay, and for sentences 13 and 14, it is connected and use substitution. You and my revert to the same subject. And for the sentences of 14 and 15, it is connected because what is it?
There's the use of conjunction,
Yes.
which is then.
Okay.
Okay. Last part in our project, we have to classify all of the sentences in the essay that we've got into 4 categories, which is types of sentence. And there's a simple sentence, there's compound sentence, and then complex sentence, and then there's compound complex sentence. So simple sentence basically there's a verb, there's a subject, and then there's a verb. It is simple sentence, which means it can be a single independent clause as well. And for the compound sentence, there will be 2 independent clauses connected with coordinating conjunction. And then meanwhile, for the complex sentence, there will be an independent clause connected with subordinating conjunction, and then followed by a dependent clause. So meanwhile, for the compound complex sentence, it is basically a combination of compound and complex sentence. Okay, so we're going to take a look for the introductory paragraphs. Sentence 1. So it is classified into complex sentence because the first clause is identified as an independent clause since it shows a complete thought. Meanwhile, the second one is a dependent clause showing incomplete thought, and there's the use of when, which is an example of subordinating conjunctions. Okay, and for the sentence 2, there's only a subject in the sentence, I, so it is structured from only one independent clause. Meanwhile, the verb is turned. And for the sentence 3, the sentence consists of an independent clause, then followed by a dependent clause. Whatever I need to text Granny is independent clause. Meanwhile, that you are usually creeping me out is dependent clause. Okay, so for the main body paragraphs, we're going to take a look at the paragraph 1, sentence 1. Both of the clauses in the sentence are independent clauses because if the sentence if the sentence is separated into 2 clauses, each of them can express a complete thought. And there's the use of conjunction and, which is coordinating conjunction, and it is a sign of independent clause. Okay, so sentence 2, and as coordinating conjunction connects both independent clauses in this sentence. For the sentence 3, the sentence is considered a simple sentence because it is only structured with a subject I and the verb started followed by the infinitive and an object her. So it is a simple sentence. So meanwhile, for the sentence 4, this sentence only consists of one independent clause, which is subject she and the verb backed away. And for the sentence 5, Both clauses are independent clauses connected with coordinating conjunction, which is for in the sentence. And for the sentence six, this sentence is considered a compound complex sentence because, I mean, it's a complex sentence because the sentence consists of an independent clause, then followed by a dependent clause. And for the sentence seven, it is a compound complex sentence because there's one independent clause and two dependent clause. She screamed an ear-piercing scream. It is an independent clause. Meanwhile, that made me roar and fall to the ground and collapse are two independent clauses. For the sentence eight, it's compound sentence because there's only one, I mean, there are only independent clauses in there. Meanwhile, for the sentence nine, an independent clause structured with a subject, a troop of seven dwarfs, and then the verb marched out. So it is a simple sentence. For the sentence 10, there's only a single independent clause, so that's why we classify them into a simple sentence category. Sentence 11. This sentence consists of two independent clauses connected with a coordinating conjunction and sentence 12. This sentence consists of a single independent clause, so we classify them into simple sentence category. And for the sentence 13, the sentence starts by using a prepositional phrase, which is as soon as his eyes crossed, followed by an independent clause. So when there's a single independent clause, we classify them into simple sentence category. Okay, so for the sentence 14, it's the same cases for like the previous one. There's only a single independent clause. That's why we put them in simple sentence. And sentence 15, sentence 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 until 21, it's the same thing as well because there's only a single independent clause. And that's why we consider them as a simple sentence. And let's take a look for the paragraph two of the main body. And sentence one is categorized as a complex sentence because as a subordinating conjunction connects dependent clause and an independent clause. Here for the sentence two, there's only a subject, which is I, and a verb, said, and an object, which is the address in the sentence. So we classify them into simple sentence category. And for the sentence three, this sentence consists of an independent clause, so it's the same cases with the previous sentence. For the sentence four, there is an independent clauses followed by two dependent clauses. So I arrived, I arrived at the old lady's door. It is an independent clause. Meanwhile, when I saw my old friend Bob Wolf and then chasing three little pirates in the brig, those are two dependent clauses. And for the sentence five, it is a complex sentence because there's an independent clause connected with a dependent clause by subordinating conjunction. But sentence six, the sentence contains a single independent clause only, so we put them in simple sentence category. And sentence seven from the sentence seven until sentence 10. And for the sentence 12 as well, as we can see in here, we classify them into simple sentence because there's only one independent clause, which is structured with subject and a verb, and that's why we put them in simple sentence. Meanwhile, for the sentence 11, we classify them into compound sentence because there are two independent clauses connected by a comma. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the sentence 13 till sentence 15. Those are simple sentences because for the same reason they only consist of a single independent clause, and that's why we put them in the simple sentence category. Okay, meanwhile, for the sentence 17 and then sentence 18 and 19, it's the same cases with the previous sentences. There's only a single independent clause. So that's why we classify them into simple sentence category. Okay, so meanwhile, for the sentence 16, it is a complex sentence because there's an independent clause connected with a dependent clause by a subordinated conjunction because I want to know what's in a basket just for cookies, it is a dependent clause. It needs another clause to complete their thought or to complete their meaning. Okay, so for the sentence 20 until 22, they all are simple sentences because these sentences contain a subject and a verb which fulfills the condition to be a simple sentence. So there's only a subject and then there's a verb. Okay, for the sentence 23, it is a compound sentence because there are two independent clauses. Meanwhile, for the sentence 24 until and sentence 25, it is a simple they are simple sentences because there's a single independent clause. And for the sentence 26, we consider the sentence to be a compound complex sentence because there are independent clauses. Specifically, there are two independent clauses and one dependent clauses. Okay, so for the concluding paragraph, the material will be explained by my friend Nurul Fitri.
Okay, for the concluding paragraph, sentences one, there's it is a simple sentence because there are subject I and a verb step that fulfills the condition of a simple sentence. And for the sentence two, it is a compound sentence because there are two independent clauses. And for the sentences sentences 3, 4, and 5, it is a simple sentence because there is only an independent clause with a proportional present at the beginning and the end of the sentence. And for the sentences 5, it is a compound sentence because there are two independent clauses. Okay, and for the sentences 8, it is a simple sentence because I only consists of a single independent clause. And same with sentence 9, it is because it is a simple sentence because there's only a single independent clause. And for sentences 10, it is a complex sentence because there's one independent clause because there's one independent clause and a dependent clause. And for the sentences 11, there it is a simple sentence because this sentence only consists of a single independent clause. And for the 12 and for sentences 12, it is a complex sentence because there are independent clause. And for the sentences 13, it is a compound complex sentence because there is independent clause followed by dependent clause and one more independent clause. And for the last one, sentences 14, it is a simple sentence because the sentence only consists of a single independent clause.
Okay, so that's all of our presentation. That was our last material in this project. Thank you so much